So welcome everyone, and thank you for taking the time to listen to this very special presentation of the Venezuela Tropical Forest and Biodiversity Analysis, this 118-119.
What is 118-119? And the goal of these documents is basically to highlight what are the actions necessary to achieve conservation and sustainable management of tropical forest and biodiversity, and also to analyze the extent to which the actions proposed for support by the agency, by USAID, meets the needs that are identified as those actions. So it's a document that should be as a reference for missions when they want to propose new projects, programs, or activities.
So Venezuela is not only like an incredible, beautiful country, it's one of the 10 mega diverse countries in the world. So all this diversity of ecosystem just brings a lot of biodiversity into place, right? We're also culturally rich. So according to official statistics, the population of indigenous peoples in Venezuela is approximately 725,000 individuals, and that is 3% of the national population. Venezuela is part of the remaining core Amazon that is still functioning and is a critical carbon sink, making it an important piece to long-term conservation strategies. So Venezuela must be included in Amazon programs, and it represents a great opportunity to achieve these conservation and climate change goals. Venezuela currently does not have a mission through the U.S. Agency for International Development. So the first ever Venezuela 118-119 sets a precedent for being able to do biodiversity programming there. Because of the overall lack of conservation and development investment in the country, there was little reliable data available when we started working on this 118-119. So an important thing to highlight is that we conducted original research to produce new data, which is unusual for these types of documents. But Venezuela is an incredible case study of how everything is connected: economics, politics, human well-being, and environment. So among the report highlights of this report was the ask of the mission, this was very interesting, to include an oil spill chapter and a mining chapter. Additionally, like I said, EI proposed to add an indigenous people chapter. So adding extra chapters, of course, made the recommendations and understanding of what is happening in Venezuela more complete and closer to the reality of the country. Part of what this report did was to help create a deforestation hotspot map through a partnership with SOS Orinoco and the monitoring of the Andean Amazon Project, or MAP, which is a platform that uses high-resolution imagery to report deforestation in the Amazon in real time. For a long time, Venezuela was not represented in MAP monitoring, but the 118-119 provided the data that made it possible to include it. Because MAP is a well-known and widely respected platform, including Venezuela is an enormous step for making sure that people are aware of this huge issue that has previously been in the shadows. Deforestation has been increasing in recent years, indicating escalating threats, right? Specifically, there's a clear trend of increased primary forest loss since 2015, including a recent spike in 2019. The spike coincides geographically and in terms of time with the establishment of the Arco Minero. The Orinoco Mining Arc is the red outline on the map, which is an area rich in gold, coltan, and other resources. In recent years, this area has become a hotspot for illegal mining, causing harm to both the environment and the indigenous peoples who live there. Working with local experts, the 118-118 team examined high-resolution satellite imagery and found images of mining camps on the top of tepuis inside a national park. Tepuis are sacred sites for indigenous peoples in Venezuela. So this is one of the biggest findings of the report. So the report had a very real impact in terms of engaging local experts, building partnerships, and generating new data to shed light on the development and conservation context in Venezuela.
So for the direct and immediate impacts, I mean, first and foremost, yes, developing and delivering the first 118-119 thinking long term, what does that mean for our relationship in engaging with USAID and Venezuela? So it sets a precedent that we can work there. And as we've kind of gone through, this particular report also sets a precedent and a model for how these reports can have such profound impacts, both on as far as like a USAID compliance document, but as well as the team and the networks that grow out of that.